Oh, what are you guys doing up there? No, I'm kidding. I'm putting my camera up high because I'm going to set up my tent in here, one of my tents. This is going to be a review over the Black Diamond Fitzroy tent. I haven't seen a single video on YouTube over this, so I figured I would make a video of me setting it up, as well as just talking about some of the highs and lows of the design. All right, I'm going to put you into time-lapse mode and film from the GoPro on my chest. First thing you should notice is this tent is big and heavy. However, this does include the vestibule, which actually has an extra tent pole and of course the actual fly itself of the vestibule. Hey there, it's Austin in post-production here. I figured I'd leave in this little time lapse of me building up the tent in case there's people that want to see that. Don't know why that would be, but whatever. And also I figured I could talk over some important points here and maybe put up some Instagram pics while it goes, and maybe talk about something that comes up while the video is going. So first, well, here's this little tidbit. Like I said, this tent is absolutely bomb-proof. However, because of that, it has a lot of poles and it's complicated to set up. Okay, good input. Thanks for that. So first order of business, have you guys ever had clam chowder? Yeah, neither have I until now. I'm eating some clam chowder. I don't really like the clam or the chowder. The oyster crackers I put in there are 10 out of 10. Well, 9 out of 10. They're kind of stale. But yeah, don't be a guy to get clam chowder, Manhattan style at least. This is out of a can. All right, that's enough on that. Just take my word for it. Don't eat Manhattan style canned clam chowder. All right, I don't know. Saying that out loud makes me realize how silly of a decision it was. Okay, here's some Instagram pics. Don't know what I'm actually gonna put up, but here you go. Boom. Yeah, pretty, right? Yeah. This was in freezing rains. I talk about it a little bit later in the video. Really harsh conditions. I think 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, and like I said, rain that turned to ice, maybe hail. I don't know, who knows. It was pretty nasty that night. As far as the tent poles that I'm putting in right now, you put in the two diagonal ones first, and then you have to devise a technique to put in the big hoop ones. And devise a technique you must, so practice that before doing it in wild. Okay, so I have it all set up here, and as you can see, the shape is not exactly symmetric. So it's lower towards the left side here than it is on the right side. And it's an interesting design there. And I actually like it quite a bit. So the vestibule goes on, I have to check, it goes on the front side here, the bigger side. Okay, whoa. What is lower on the left side and the right side? Interesting design, and I like it. All right, this guy needs some help. The reason I like it, all right, is it's better in high winds. Okay, and that it's a pretty large area, allows you to store your boots and things outside, which I've definitely appreciated when using this tent. But it does add additional weight and complexity. You actually end up using another pole for it. So let's go and talk about just the tent itself, and maybe I'll get into the vestibule. The guy out points, the tie downs, are actually very cleverly made. Let's see if we can zoom in here. They use these rings here, so no matter which direction of pull, you'll be getting good tension. As you can see, when I pull on this, it doesn't really take out any kind of slack or any kind of looseness within the tent. This tent is so taut, the fabric itself is so taut that it's a little bit scary to put up, especially for the first time. And this tent, honestly, it's back when it was Bibler tents. I think Black Diamond maybe owned that company, or they're a subsidiary, some sort of connection between Black Diamond, because the tag says Black Diamond, however the outside says Bibler. So this tent is very old, so I can't imagine setting up a brand new one. It's probably so tight that it's terrifying to put up. You'll feel like you're going to break your tent poles. But they are super strong. All the details of the type of fabric, which I will get to in a little bit, and the type of poles can be found on their website. So let's go ahead and get into this tent and some of the reasons I like it and some of the reasons I don't. Okay, as you know, this is a single wall tent. Perhaps you didn't know that. And actually is a inside, I'm not sure what the proper terminology would be, but the tent poles actually go on the inside, which allow it to be super taut. Very clever design from Black Diamond. When in strong winds, you don't get any flapping at all. You'll sometimes see it flex a little bit from really strong side loads, but that's it, which is really nice. I'll probably throw a clip in maybe here where I use this tent in maybe 30-40 mile an hour winds and freezing rain, and my tent was completely solid, and my buddy's tent it survived, but it was flapping like crazy. So it would be hard to sleep in there, honestly, if I were him. So you'll see, it's actually a really large foot. It's a really large floor space here. It gets wider in the middle and then gets narrower at the sides. Okay, so where your shoulders are at, usually you'd sleep with your feet towards the narrow end, your head towards the wider end. You'll notice my head, if I get off the bottom wall, my head is relatively close to this wall. When I zip it up, I'll go ahead and do that. It's another thing, Black Diamond has excelled with their design of their zippers. As you can see, let's see if I can show this. Pull that in, the zippers just go right out. No issue at all. It does have a bug net. I really don't use this much because when you're using this tent, it'll most likely be in winter. But now you see, even when my head is near the end of the foot box, the design of this is such that I have plenty of space. I mean, my arm is completely stretched out and I'm off to the side of the tent, and my hand is not, is barely touching the top. So plenty of head space when you're laying down, and foot space for that matter as well. Some of the things I really like is that having this double door. You have a door on this end, door on this end. All the other Black Diamond tents generally are single entry, and that allows you to have these Instagram pictures, of course, but also a lot of ventilation, which is super important getting to the single wall fact of this tent. So in winter, I have not had any issues with moisture. I've been in this tent at -10 degrees in really dry conditions. Of course, it's fine there. I've also been at around 25 to 30 degrees and in rain, and it's kind of freezing hail and rain. And the only thing I got was I had some ice built up in the corners here, I guess where maybe condensation had built up and drained down, or maybe it soaked through. That was a pretty rough night. I would not suggest this tent in the summertime, but one, it's just extra heavy and complicated to set up, and doesn't have any mesh on the walls, so it will be slightly heavy. But also, it might not be the most impervious to rain. It looks like everything is actually seam taped in this tent. I did buy it used, so perhaps that is from someone else. Black Diamond does not send their tents seam taped normally, not sure exactly why. So something interesting you'll notice is that there's not any ventilation in the tent itself. So you have these little peaks, I don't know what you'd really call them, with a short tent pole in them that are as captured within the actual fabric itself. And the way you're supposed to ventilate this tent is this right here. So you leave the ends open. So I've found that at first I was a little bit concerned, as maybe if you had some drafts and some high winds, you'd have issues with maybe rain or something getting in, but these peaks do their job very well. And like I said, compared to some of the other tents, you do have the other door, you can open it. Maybe if the wind's coming from the other side, you can open that tent a little, that wall door, excuse me. I don't know what was up that, can't speak. You can open up that door a little more, and so you'll get more ventilation. It does have, of course, little pockets. Something interesting, it doesn't use oops, I forgot to do this one. It doesn't use Velcro to hold these tent poles in place. It uses these little clips, which I've used with gloves and they work fine. Velcro is a mess to try to use with gloves. Let's go and exit this side now. So, another thing you can notice about this tent is the shape from side winds. It's not going to be as top heavy or wanting to roll as bad as other designs. So the wider base and the somewhat lower roof allows for side loads to basically not affect the tent at all. There are plenty of tie down points, all over the tent. Pretty large ones down here, so you can use larger snow stakes or maybe a ski or ice axe. Like this little design. I'm not sure if I've already put this in or not, but this is nice. This is where the vestibule connects. It connects there. The extra tent pole connects here, and it goes over the front. So I have used this in freezing rains, and then as well as just extreme, high altitude cold, -10 degrees, and it held up great. So overall, would I suggest this tent? The weight aspect kind of leads me to say no, and also the price, right? This is close to $1,000. What I would say is, maybe if you bought this tent like I did, I bought this for I think $300 on sale on a used gear site, and you have no worries of. If you do buy this on a used gear site, you don't have to worry about manufacturer defects or something wrong. For example, I bought this tent and it was missing one of the tent poles. I was very confused, and I called Black Diamond. I told them I bought it used from someone else, and it was missing a tent pole. They asked me for my address, and they sent it out within, I think it was like a 3-minute phone call. And I gave them my address, and I figured they'd ask me for a card number and maybe pay for shipping at least. And after I gave them my address, they said, all right, we'll ship it out your way. And it came within, I think, 3 or 4 days. And so that alone makes me want to suggest Black Diamond products. Of course, I use them for climbing as well. I would probably suggest the El Dorado? Yeah, I think it's El Dorado tent over this one, simply because it's easier to set up, it's lighter, and I think it's a little bit cheaper. So if I were going to go with one single wall tent, I would go with the. So yeah, if I was going to go with the single wall design for a winter tent, which I definitely would, it's a lot easier, generally lighter. I would go with the Black Diamond El Dorado, or if you can find one like this, the Fitzroy on sale, go for that as well. Something else I meant to throw in here that you'll see everybody else talk about that gets one of these tents that has this fabric. It's almost like a felt fabric on the inside, and it feels so good to the touch. It doesn't feel like plasticky nylon or any sort of rubberized texture. It's really nice wherever they get this magic material from. It's amazing. Another note, I'm not gonna hold this against the tent since mine was used. Mine smells really bad. Doesn't smell like body odor or anything like that. It smells like a chemical. Maybe the person that tried to sell it or was selling it tried to clean it first, but it's on the floor. You get this kind of waxy texture, greasy feeling on your fingers, and I think that probably is from the previous owner. But I tried to clean it and I couldn't get the smell out or the feeling, so yeah, it could also be the material. But like I said, this tent, it's possible it's older than me. It's definitely 10 years old, I think, at least. So for a 10-year-old tent, that's not too bad. Okay, that will complete the review of the Black Diamond Fitzroy. I have other Black Diamond products and also non-Black Diamond products. Here's my gear closet. If I find anything more unique that I can't find videos of on YouTube, I will post a review. Until then, thanks for watching, and stay safe, get outside. Austin in post again here. Check this out, listen to this. Some ASMR here. Oh, I gotcha, that was disgusting, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the clam chowder. Something that sounds that bad, you know it can't taste good. Anyways, moving on from that, thanks for watching, seriously, and hopefully this has been helpful to you. If you have any kind of specific questions about climbing or caving or really almost anything outdoors, whitewater kayaking, put them in the comments below and we'll get to them. Thanks.